Dr. Bhaskar Rao, learned delegates from abroad, dear brother and sisters. The topic given to me is evolutionary genetics, it is, and the spirituality. This is a very amusing topic. Whenever we speak about spirituality, we have to touch upon philosophy also, because they are inseparable. The Indian philosophy is consisting of Advaita and the Siddhanta. Bhagavad Gita is a guidebook for Advaita and Siddhanta Tirumandiram. So I have taken a few lines from Bhagavad Gita and a few lyrics from Tirumandiram to corroborate with my findings. So what is spirituality? It was discussed yesterday itself. Recognition of a feeling that there is something greater than ourselves. Recognition that we are all part of the divine force. There is only one divine force. We are all part of it. And third, most important, is loving all organisms that have originated from a common ancestor. So we got a common ancestor. We are all brothers and sisters, and we should love each other. That is the main point in spirituality. That Bhagavad Gita clearly states that plants, animals, and people are the manifestation of the same universal force. The spiritual force living in us do not die. It never dies. It only changes the body. The body is temporary. Our body is, physical body is temporary and is an illusion. This declaration made 5,000 years back. Nowhere in the world people were so advanced to have such a declaration. Then Charles Darwin, he concluded Bhagavad Gita's versions. All living organisms have a common ancestor. This is what told in Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years back. Unicellular to multicellular, invertebrates to vertebrates. So, dinosaurs, snakes, pigs, apes, and man are all related. There is so much difference between me and any other person in the audience. But by DNA, yesterday itself somebody told there is 0.1%, 99.9% we have identical DNA. Only 0.1%. That makes so much of difference in color, intelligence, appearance, everything. But between ape and man, it is 98.6% homology. Between a pig and man, it is 98%. So only 2% makes so much of difference between a pig and man. And snakes, 80%. Snakes also related to us. The homology of the DNA is 80%. Moreover, evolution is a continuous process. It will not stop with human beings. It will go on. So, definition for living organisms, it should possess DNA or RNA or both. It is an incomplete definition. There are many other points also, but this is the basic principle. There are some organisms without DNA and RNA, proteinaceous organisms are also identified. Then, the Indian philosophy states the universe is a macrocosm and living organisms are microcosms. So, macrocosm means it is a big subject and microcosm is a miniature of the macro universe. So, whatever elements present in the universe are all present in living organisms also. They said, Panjabhudangal, Andathil ulladu, Pindathilum ulladu. That is, whichever is present in the universe are all present in our body. So, these five matter are very important for the evolution of living organisms. One is air, water, fire, land, and space. The earth is divided from the sun. Actually, it is a part of the sun, solar system. But the sun is different from the earth. Totally different. How is it possible? So after the earth has been formed, evolution of inanimate objects has taken place. Sun has only four or five elements like hydrogen, helium, beryllium, carbon and sulfur. But the earth has 118 elements listed in the periodic table. So earth age is 4.5 billion years, that is 450 crores of years. So 450 crores of years, when the periodic table was written at that period, there will be only one element, hydrogen. Hydrogen is the mother of all elements, and the other elements have evolved from hydrogen. So we should not think that only living organisms evolve. Inanimate and the elements also evolve. In another 1 billion years, there may be 200 elements in the periodic table. Who knows? So this is the nucleic acids. Nucleic acids also known as polynucleotide. So it is a structure of a polynucleotide. I will separate only one nucleotide. So see that what are the things present? Oxygen, phosphorus, carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen. Only 5 elements. So Panchabhutangal, what we say, 5 great forces, they are represented in the DNA. So where is nitrogen? It is 80% of air. So air can be considered as nitrogen. Then hydrogen, it is the major constituent of water. Chemists call it water gas. So hydrogen represents water. Oxygen, it is the most inflammable gas so far found. So it represents fire. Carbon, the most abundant, phosphorus is the abundant mineral on earth. So its representation of earth is also done in DNA. Then carbon, it is the most abundant raw material in space. Yesterday, scientists were discussing about dust in the space. That is the carbon dust. Previously, before 1980, it was thought the space was vacuum. But afterwards, it was considered as having plasma, filled with plasma. You know plasma. It is the fourth stage of elements, like solids, liquids, gas, and plasma. Now, we have got millions of stars. They are actually nuclear fusion reactors. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in these stars. Hydrogen gives rise to 2 atoms of hydrogen fused to produce helium. 2 helium atoms and 1 hydrogen atom produces beryllium. And the beryllium and 1 helium again combines to produce carbon. So carbon to sulfur, sulfur to other minerals. So all the 118 minerals evolved from hydrogen. So we can call hydrogen as the mother atom or Shakti. So all the living organisms, they differ in external appearance. The driving force, the DNA, is universally identical. Many people yesterday gave discussion on the driving force in us. The driving force in us is the DNA, nothing else. It is universally identical. All major organisms can be considered as a bundle of DNA. We are all from single cell to multicellular organism. Multicellular means some of them are specialized cells, the brain cells, blood cells, and so on. Other cells are non-specialized, stem cells. So everything put together, our body is a mass of cells. The cells contains DNA. Amoeba is a single cell organism. If you remove the nucleus by using a micropipette, amoeba will not move, it will stand still. So if you reintroduce the nucleus by the same pipette, amoeba will start moving. That shows the nucleus and the DNA inside is the living force. That is the driving force for all living organisms. Though we are multicellular, we are all evolved from amoeba only. So our body is a bundle of DNA. Tirumandram has clearly said this. மரத்தை மறைத்தது மாமத யானை, மரத்தில் மறைந்தது மாமத யானை, பரத்தை மறைந்தது பார்முதல் பூதம், பரத்தில் மறைந்தது பார்முதல் பூதம். For the convenience of people not knowing Tamil, this is translation. A carpenter and his son visited a museum. The son, on seeing an elephant doll, the son exclaimed, "What a big elephant! Nice elephant." But his father, carpenter, he saw only the wood. He saw there is no crack in the rosewood or teak wood. It's a good wood. So the same idol, the son saw it as elephant. The father saw it as wood. So the wood was hidden in the eyes of the child. The child did not see the wood. Only the father saw the wood because he was an expert carpenter. So similarly, the universal force, there are many worldly structures, human beings, snakes, pigs, dogs, everything. But ultimately, they are a bundle of DNA. So the worldly structures disappeared. If you see a dog or a monkey as a bundle of DNA, its external appearance will disappear. The internal structure is only DNA, which is also present in us. So universality of the DNA is confirmed. So the women folk here will say it is a necklace, ring, stud, and so on. There are gold assessors in every bank who come for seeking gold loan. That assessor will see it as 22 carat gold, 24 carat gold, or just a silver coated with gold. So he sees the right thing. The basic raw material is gold, but we can make any number of designs out of gold. So the basic raw material in all of us is the DNA. Nucleic acid. RNA organisms are also there, like coronavirus and the recent Nipah virus. These are all RNA viruses, but they are also nucleic acids. So gold is the raw material, but a common woman will name them by their external appearance, but a goldsmith will recognize all of them as gold only. When external appearance is an illusion. Today a woman can have a bangle. Tomorrow she will melt and make it as a necklace. So external appearance is only an illusion. It is not permanent. Tomorrow it will change. Most important point, all of them we have evolved from a common ancestor. We differ in appearance because of mutations. We live in different environment. So according to the environment, there are mutations. So selection occurs. Here, Charles Darwin's theory, the fittest will survive according to the good mutations. So adaptation makes us appear different. People coming from abroad, their color is pink, but we are black. This is because of adaptation to hot sun. They are living in temperate climate, so their color is little pale. But all of us are human beings. So the DNA is same. So next thing, we all claim that God is omnipresent, but cannot be identified anywhere. This is what said in Bhagavad Gita also. I am everywhere, but found nowhere. This is very difficult to understand. I am everywhere, but found nowhere. This can be explained on the basis of genetics. Ancestral chromosomes, our parents each give 23 chromosomes. And we have 23 pairs of chromosomes, 23 given by father and 23 given by the mother. They multiply, they give only one copy. They multiply into several billion copies. The multiplication is called semi-conservative method. So this is the division of DNA. The blue color is the parental DNA. The yellow color is the new strand of DNA, which is developing along the parental strand. Parental strand separates and the new strand develops. Ultimately, two daughter DNA comes. So now what happens to the parental strand? After the production of two strands, parental strand is not destroyed. It is somewhere. So we think our parents are dead. Most of us, like our parents or relatives are dead. They are not dead. Their chromosome is living in us. DNA is life. So their life is in us. That blue stripe is the parental chromosome. So it never gets destroyed. It is found somewhere. But nowhere can be identified any scientific method. That is what told in Bhagavad Gita. I am everywhere, but found nowhere. It is hiding in some of our cells. So chromosomes first opens into two strands. This process continues into several billion times, and the original parental strand is not destroyed. So it is somewhere, but nowhere can be identified. It may be in the pituitary, or it may be hiding in our gonadal tissues, or it may be in the heart. Somewhere it is living. Nobody can dispute it, but nowhere it can be found. So this slide is not much of evolutionary significance. It is for the amusement of human. They are in majority here. So 70% of the world population believes that God created man. And afterwards, as an afterthought, He created woman as an amenity for man. Am I correct? This is the belief of 70% of the world population. But the Indian philosophy believes Shakti evolved first from the cosmic dust. What they yesterday showed, the cosmic dust. Genetics has now established the X chromosome, much elder is to the Y chromosome. There are many methods to prove this. It will take time for me to explain the technology to prove the X chromosome is elder to the Y chromosome. So female femininity evolved first. The simple example is hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites are lower organisms having both sexes, both female and male sex. But it never behaves as female and male simultaneously. If a hermaphrodite, Tinius oleum, lives for 10 years, for the first 9 years it will live as female and produce only female gametes. In the fag end of its life, it will produce male gametes. That is why it is called hermaphrodite. But we know the ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Biologists know. So the phylum development just follows the development of the lower evolutionary development. So by this we can prove femininity is elder to masculinity. We can proudly claim that we are elder. Then Maya or the Advaita theory. It is well proved in genetics. Amoeba is a typical example. It is evolved 750 million years back, that is 75 crores. It propagates by binary fission. It lives only for 2 days, 48 to 60 hours. Afterwards, it will divide into two daughter amoeba. After cell division, which one you will call daughter, which one you will call mother? Both are daughters. After cell division, both divisions are daughter amoeba. There is no mother. So yesterday I saw this mother amoeba under the microscope. Today it is not there. It is not dead. Where it has gone? So death is an illusion. It divides into two and both are daughters. In next 2 days it will divide into 4. So mother amoeba and daughter amoeba disappear from sight. They are not dead. But the granddaughters will be surviving. So the present amoeba, which we see under the microscope, is the same amoeba which we saw 750 millions of years back. So amoeba has no death. This is a single cellular organism. How can we say the human being, a multicellular organism, dies? So there is no definition for death in any biology book. I have searched diligently, I have searched. There is no definition for death in any biology book. They could not define. Medical textbooks define death of man as the unrecordable EEG, unrecordable ECG. But we cannot take on ECG for an amoeba. So how to define the death of an amoeba or a single cell organism? So death is a myth. Nobody dies. Amoeba do not die. Our parental chromosomes do not die. We transmit to our children. What are we? After all, what are we? We are a bundle of DNA. So I transmit to my children. They transmit to their grandchildren. So there is no end for it. External physical body may disappear. That is possible. The present-day amoeba is only a true copy of the original amoeba, which have held 750 million. So when I die, only the Xerox copies of the DNA given by my parents die. The original copy is everywhere. You are having the copy of the same DNA. Some of us, all of us have black iris. Black iris is decided by one gene. The same gene in presence is present in hundreds of people sitting here. So we are all related. So that gene has not dead. When I die, the black iris gene will not die. It is already present in all of you and my children. So genes never die. So is the amoeba, one parental amoeba giving birth to two daughter amoeba. So now what happened to the mother amoeba? Which we cannot see, but it is not dead. How will you explain it? So death is an illusion. When our body dies, only the Xerox copies of the DNA present in our body dies. The original DNA is everywhere. It will never die. That is called Maya, Advaitam. All are equal. Everyone has the same DNA. So this picture of Nataraja has many interpretations. Atomic scientists say it is an atom, and Tiruvasi around it is revolving around it. And people, space technologists will say it is a revolving planet or revolving star. So the NASA has kept this structure in their office entrance. But I will say it is a DNA dancing inside the nucleus. Why I am saying is, people think DNA is static. Here many experts of molecular biology are sitting. They know the breathing of the DNA. DNA, occasionally, it opens in between, then closes. Then opens somewhere, then closes. This is called breathing of the DNA. When you see under the electron microscope, it appears as though it is dancing. The breathing of DNA appears as it is dancing. So the DNA is dancing. So Nataraja is dancing. The outer membrane, outer circle is the nuclear membrane. I told organisms will not die. The DNA will transmit it. But the single organism can die. This is what is death. That is the stopping of the dancing of the DNA is the death. If DNA inside a cell stops breathing, so DNA also breathes in wavy movements. So if it stops breathing, that colloquially we call dancing. If a DNA stops dancing, that cell is dead. That when it will die, when the nuclear membrane is protecting the DNA, when the nuclear membrane gets damaged, so most of our chemicals, antibiotics, they destroy the cellular membrane and the nuclear membrane of the microorganisms. So when the nuclear membrane is damaged, the DNA has to come out into the cytoplasm. It has no other go. When it comes into the cytoplasm, our chemicals will act and kill the organism. Similarly, at the time of death, the nuclear membrane disintegrates and the DNA comes into the cytoplasm where it is digested by the enzymes called nuclease, which are abundant in the cytoplasm. That can be defined as death for a single organism, but not the whole body. Then universal oneness. As I told you, all organisms on Earth have evolved from a common ancestor. Evolutionary distance between them determines the genetic distance. A pig is totally different. A monkey is also different, but only 2% difference. A snake is 20% different from us. So it appears totally different. The genetic distance between ourselves decides the physical distance. But universal love towards all organisms has a great scientific basis because they are all our relatives. So loving other organisms has a scientific basis. So we know Ramalinga Avalar, he shed tears on seeing withering plants. Vaadiya pairai kanda podellam vaadinen. It is a great spirituality. Second level of spirituality. I will say first level. What is first level? So this is normal animal cell. The red line is mitochondria. Everybody talked about mitochondria. The mitochondria is given by the mother. Father cannot give the mitochondria to the children because it is present in the ovum. The father gives only the sperm head. It does not contain mitochondria. So all our mitochondria, whether male or female, it has come from our mother. That is why Mother Goddess is called Shakti. Mitochondria is the energy house. Human relatedness can be tested by a simple test. This DNA analyzer is available almost in any big lab. So mitochondria, it has 16,569 base pairs, nucleotides. So mitochondria mutation is known. Every 1,000 years, one nucleotide mutates. It is known as mitochondrial clock. So maximum difference of mutation identified in any two population in the world is 212 nucleotides. So multiply into 1,000, 2 lakhs. So it shows all the mitochondria in us has evolved from a common mother who lived 2 lakhs years ago. So genetic distance between me and any of you in the audience can be easily tested by doing the mitochondrial analysis using a DNA analyzer. If there is one nucleotide is different from one person here and myself, then that means 1,000 years back we had a common grandmother. If 2,000 years. So human relatedness can be easily tested by this technique. So we are all the children of the same grandmother who lived 2 lakhs years back, probably in Africa. So the theory of Arya Dravida is totally false. We are all come from Africa only. So essence, what is the essence of my speech today? Amoeba is our grandparent. Plants are our cousins. Animals are our nephews. And all human beings are brothers and sisters. Thank you. Only now, after studying the mitochondria, we know this fact. But Swami Vivekananda, in 1893, in the Chicago World Congress on Religions, he declared, everybody address the audience as ladies and gentlemen. He addressed the audience as brothers and sisters. Everybody was shocked. How can you say we are all brother, sister? You are a black person, we are white. How can you say you are my brother? They questioned him. He had evidence from Upanishads. Our Veda and Upanishads gave him the knowledge to say that we are all brother and sisters. Today, that's why I also address you as brother and sister. Okay. Then there are 3 levels of spirituality. Level 1, all humans are brothers and sisters. That is proved by science. So the world, other religions claim that God created man and woman. And naturally, we are all brother and sister. So this is the Western concept. But level 2, all living organisms have a common ancestor and related to humans. So loving all of them, including a dog, pig, or a monkey, is a level 2 spirituality. And level 3, all living organisms and non-living organisms are all manifestations of the same universal force. This is the essence of Vedic religion. Not only living organisms, a rock, a clay, or any non-living organism, it is also one way related to us, because the earth has evolved 550 billions years ago. For 450 billions, 100 billions, it had no organism. Only 350 billions ago, that is 350 crores of years ago, the first bacteria appeared on earth. Man appeared only for the past 20 lakhs years. So, we have evolved from non-living substances. In my body, there is enough gold. 0.22 milligram of gold is present in all of us body. Then copper is 70 milligram of copper is present in our body. So similarly, trace elements, vanadium, manganese, magnesium, all elements are present in it. We have evolved from this non-living matter. So non-living matter is also in one way related to us. So any person recognizing this will reach the 3rd level of spirituality and will become a Jivan Muktar. What we call Jivan Muktar. We consider everything as same. Whether it is rock, clay, or man, or monkey, all are same. I think Mahagavi Bharadiyar is a Jivan Muktar. He said, Kakke Gurivi Engal Sadi, Nil Kadal Malayim Engal Kutam, Nokum Tese Ellam Nam and Verile. Everywhere I am. So he is the great sage. Crows and sparrows are our kings. Seas or mountains are our clan. Wherever I glance, I see only myself. Wherever I look into the notice board or into the audience, I see only God. That is the ultimate level of spirituality. Then, when you talk about God, Thirumandiram, who is God? Anbum Sivamum Rendanbar Arivilar. Anbe Sivamavadu Arum Arihilar. Anbe Sivamavadu Arum Arindavin. Anbe Sivamai Amarndirpare. So, English translation. The ignorance will preach that love and God are different entities. I am not saying God is love. That is a total different meaning. If you say God is love, that is a different meaning. God has created this world. Naturally, He has to love His creation. He cannot hate His creation. So ignorance preach love and God are different. They never know that love is God. Anyone realizing that love is God, thereafter will live with godliness. That there is no separate God anywhere. I will not ask a cricket player, where is God? Because he will, after cracking a century, he will raise the bat and look upwards, thinking somewhere hiding behind the clouds, there is a God. No. So many satellites we have sent to Mars, Moon and Sun. No satellites have detected any abode of God anywhere in the space. God is not in the space. God is present in all of us. Again, Bharadiyar, Pagavana Karulwai Nananje, Pagavana Karulwai. Oh my God, oh my good heart, show mercy to my enemy. He has not requested God to show mercy to his enemy. God may heed to his request or may not heed, but he can show mercy to his enemies. It is in his hands. So loving his enemy is in the hands of human beings. So I thank everybody, all of you, As my sisters and brothers, I thank you once again for the patient hearing.
Thank you, Ayya. That's a very moving speech. If amoeba can have Maranamilla Peduvayu, why can't we?